after the Golden Age or the Classical period. He's actually living in the late Classic period. And so in some ways, his ideas about art and his ideas about literature and philosophy in general are actually kind of they're a culmination or a summary of a lot of the ideas, and he sort of wrote things down. Remember, he was kind of a student of Socrates, although there's no evidence that he actually hung out with him directly as far as I understand. So Plato is this guy who is important because he records a lot of important ideas from that time period, but he's also kind of a whacked out character. So, first of all, his ideas on art. He didn't like artists. Artists were basically charlatans for him, and he believed that they were sort of making a copy of a shadow or of an illusion of things. His ideas really influenced how we think, and the most important one is the allegory of the cave. And in the allegory of the cave, Plato outlines an idea in which you have these sort of prisoners who are locked in a cave, and they have their heads constrained and their arms constrained and they can't really move. And all they can see are shadows, which are basically silhouettes, so shadow puppets that are being cast on a wall. So imagine kind of being locked up in a TV room and you can't move your head, and the TV screen is completely filling your vision, but it's only silhouettes of things. It's not real. Also think of the movie The Matrix. That would probably is really, The Matrix is based on Plato's allegory of the cave. So the people who live in this cave can't really see reality. They only see the illusion of reality. And so he describes in this allegory of the cave that they escape. Maybe one character gets out of this cave, and as they go into the light is too bright. It hurts their eyes. They can't deal with it. And when you leave the cave, you go into the world of full vision. You can see all the colors. You can see all the shapes, all of the forms, and you are actually sort of shocked by everything you see. Well, that person has gone to the light, is now enlightened. Well, the next thing is they go back into the cave, and if they go back into the cave, they have a responsibility to rescue the people who are in there, sort of like in the movie The Matrix. But there's a problem. If you go into the cave, people are going to think you're crazy, and they're going to think that you don't know what you're talking about because you see things in a different way. Well, this is kind of a allegory for education, but I think it's also an allegory for how he felt about art. He felt that art was basically a bunch of constructions or illusions that were not really based on reality. And they're a copy of a copy, because for Plato, reality is a copy of the ideal world. So it's kind of like if you can dream a better world, you might bring it out into being. And so he believed that artists were copying the world itself, and the world is just a shadow or reflection of universal truth